Hello, David here again with BeInCrypto. Today, we're going to talk about a question that is undoubtedly on a lot of people's minds as Bitcoin enters its next bull run. Namely, is it already too late to buy Bitcoin? This is a common feeling that many get when an asset does exceptionally well and they haven't already bought some. Well, I won't keep you in suspense. The answer is emphatically no. You haven't missed the rocket ship to the moon at all. At least we don't think so. In this video, I'll break down a handful of reasons to be optimistic about where Bitcoin is going. Our examples range from purely economic reasons to public opinion, but they all point to continued growth in Bitcoin and most decentralized assets well into 2021 and beyond. So what are we waiting for? Let me explain to you why we think that no, it's not too late to buy Bitcoin in 2021. Bitcoin's been around since 2009, and at the time that this is being shot, the price is around $60,000. It's definitely been a bumpy ride, with multiple bull runs and bear markets. As you may have noticed, we seem to be beginning another bull run right now. With the price already having come so far, it's understandable that some people are wondering if they've already missed out. Sure, the pattern looks to be repeating from previous cycles, but how do we know this time will be the same? Well, to be blunt, we don't. This video isn't investment advice, and I can't promise you that the price won't plummet tomorrow. I do, however, want to break down a few reasons why we think it's highly plausible that Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency in general, still have a lot of room to grow. Let's start with the stock-to-flow model. I've actually already broken this down in my video on the Bitcoin halving of 2020, which is a great companion to this video, so be sure to check that out too. In a nutshell, the stock-to-flow model outlines the ratio of the existing reserves of an asset, aka the stock, to the amount of that asset being regularly produced, or the flow. Every 4 years, Bitcoin's stock-to-flow ratio changes when a halving event occurs, and so far the price has always risen in response to this shift. On this chart, the only thing you need to understand is that the purple line you see that jumps every 4 years is the stock-to-flow ratio. Those jumps are the halving events. The multicolored dots are the price of Bitcoin. Notice how after each halving, the price rises, overshoots the purple line, bull run, then spends a couple of years recalibrating to the line, bear market, before the next halving repeats the cycle. Because Bitcoin's production rate is so highly predictable, we can use this model to make reasonable projections about the potential for future growth. Of course, if it were really just that simple, then I wouldn't be so adamant about reminding our viewers that this isn't investment advice. There's more than just the stock-to-flow model that decides Bitcoin's price, and the model would break down pretty fast if people lost their faith in the asset. So, next, let's discuss the fact that people haven't lost faith, and in fact, there's plenty to be optimistic about going forward. Again, this video was made when Bitcoin's price was around $60,000, putting its market capitalization at just a little over $1 trillion. Breaking the trillion barrier has been lauded as a great milestone, but just for comparison, here's some other numbers to think about. For one, gold's current market cap alone is about 10 times bigger than Bitcoin's. Similarly, the global real estate market in 2019 was also estimated at around $10 trillion. That same year, the sum gross domestic product of all nations on Earth was estimated at about $87 trillion. These are just a few simple examples, but they show how Bitcoin is a small fish in a big pond. This is actually fantastic, because if you believe that the technology has an inherent value, then you can see how much money there is that still hasn't even begun to flow into cryptocurrency. Yet. Of course, none of this matters if the rest of the world doesn't come around and begin using Bitcoin. Fortunately, here too, there's some optimistic news. For one, Bitcoin has recently seen attention from some pretty big names. We'll start with the one that everyone's probably heard of, and that's Elon Musk. Musk has made some notable waves in the crypto world lately, both with his public endorsements of Bitcoin and Dogecoin on Twitter, as well as the fact that his company, Tesla, recently purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. When the richest man in the world is on your side, that's a pretty good sign. There's of course some other interesting names that are proponents of cryptocurrency, like Akon and Lindsay Lohan, but perhaps the most promising endorsements come from the big names in social media and online payments. For example, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, has repeatedly been vocal about his love of the digital asset, and he's just recently teamed up with rapper Jay-Z to create a Bitcoin trust that's currently working hard to grow development teams in Africa and India. Then there's the fact that PayPal recently began supporting cryptocurrencies, with CEO Dan Schulman saying in a recent interview that he is, quote, very bullish on digital currencies of all kinds. When you combine these endorsements with the fact that Binance has recently noticed a rise in institutional investors on their platform, it's easy to see that interest in Bitcoin is starting to reach into some very influential levels of society. Is there still some pushback out there? Absolutely. But this comes more from regulators and less from actual players in financial markets. Generally speaking, as a deeper understanding of Bitcoin proliferates, we think so will adoption. We've been largely focusing on Bitcoin so far, but we need to take a moment to highlight the fact that there's so much more going on in cryptocurrency than just this one, albeit popular, asset. For example, we recently made the case that Ethereum could, in time, surpass Bitcoin. We've also covered things like decentralized finance and the myriad of projects popping up in that realm. We're not going to go into any specific projects here. We'd rather just point out that there are many opportunities available all across the cryptocurrency landscape that have the potential to grow massively as this economic space develops. As we always say, do your homework. For every real money-making investment opportunity out there, there are countless scams and useless projects. So many coins want to be the next Bitcoin, but realistically very few can deliver this. Being well educated on what a project is claiming, who's behind it, and what their track record is will go a long way in separating promising new startups from pump and dump coins. On that note, there's one more thing I wanted to mention about making money from Bitcoin. I think it's important to keep in mind that Bitcoin's biggest supporters aren't simply in this for the potential money. I know, everyone loves to say that, and very few people are truly ambivalent about the price rising. Still, there are many who feel that Bitcoin's ability to transmit value worldwide over the internet will stay intact at any particular fiat valuation. Hence, even when Bitcoin someday does begin to flatten out in terms of growth, it'll still be worth owning. In fact, it'll presumably be much more worth owning than it is now, as it'll be more scarce. What we're saying is, approaching cryptocurrency with a get-rich-quick attitude is arguably missing some of the point. Yes, we all hope to see our portfolio values grow. That's just called good investing. But both Bitcoin and the entire crypto space have so much more to offer. We don't want to miss it because we just keep checking the latest prices. By the way, if you agree with our assessment that it isn't too late to get some Bitcoin, then get yours from the Stormgain Cryptocurrency Exchange. Stormgain is not only one of the hottest up-and-coming exchanges out there, it also offers several valuable perks, such as a loyalty program, bonuses for referrals, annual interest on crypto deposits, and using the official app, you can even begin cloud mining cryptocurrency for free today. If you feel like Bitcoin still has a long way to go to the moon, know that Stormgain offers a bit more than most other exchanges, so be sure to check them out. Well, that should do it for today. Tell us below in the comments what you think. Is it too late to get on board with Bitcoin? If so, what projects do you think stand to be the most profitable? Hopefully, we've made a pretty solid case for why we're so optimistic about Bitcoin's ability to keep growing in the coming years. We could, of course, be wrong about everything, and unforeseen events can always change the nature of markets, so do your own research, including staying up on the latest developments going on with cryptocurrency. For that, come check us out at BeInCrypto.com, where you'll find daily updates, analysis, and more. Also, don't forget about our other content right here on YouTube, such as interviews, educational videos, and our bi-weekly news show. And lastly, if trading is your thing, then come join our trading community on Telegram, where you'll get access to the latest technical analysis from our top traders. As always, thanks to each and every one of you for watching, and we'll see you again right here real soon.